Okay, I want to I want to talk about. It's probably an old cliche, but it was put this way when I heard it: work smarter, not harder. Okay, and I don't. That's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about work less, impact more. And the reason I want to talk about it in that light is because I think that a lot of people spend a lot of time and a lot of energy working their butts off, and the amount of people and the amount of lives that they impact are not as much as they really could because maybe they're not working smart. You don't have to work harder to impact more lives. You've got to work smarter to impact more lives. And if we look at the end of the day what we're trying to do, right? What are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to accomplish impacting lives, right? And I apologize for my office. It is a mess right now. All kinds of things going on. We've got a new, I want to say puppy, but she's not a puppy. She's 5 years old. God has graced us. We just had to put one of ours to sleep. And within weeks, he brought another one into our lives that she is just amazing. Gabriel is 5. She is 5. They're getting along perfectly. She's 100 pounds less than him. Gabriel weighs 212 pounds. She weighs 103 pounds. So it looks like Gabriel and his puppy, but obviously he's a male, she's a female. So again, I apologize for the mess here, and eventually here I'm going to be making a whole new office, and you'll see some differences. But but I want to talk about working less and impacting more, because if you do it right, if you make sure that you are making good connections, you're building good relationships, you're building that know, like, and trust, you don't have to work as hard, right? You just work smarter, right? And I see so many people, and I was so guilty of this when I was doing network marketing. I love network marketing, and network marketers, take heed. This applies to all of us. But when I was doing network marketing, it was nonstop. I was building it through social media and meetings and on and on and on. And I was always on my phone or on the computer, and I was always having Zoom meetings, and it was nonstop. And you can do it that way. I did. If you want to get burned out, right? And I did. I got to a point where it's like, there's got to be a better way. Let me see if I can go down this path and make more money and impact more lives and do all that stuff. And it ended up being a relative disaster to a certain extent. Made good money, and didn't become a millionaire or rich and all those different things, but was able to do some good things. But it was not the right shortcut. And I hate the word shortcut. I dislike the word shortcut, because shortcut to most people indicates that you're leaving things out. You're taking a shortcut, and therefore to do that, you're having to leave things out. And I don't believe you have to do that. I believe that if you sit down and really look at your business, right? I had to do that. I was on Facebook, and I started Instagram, and I was all over social media, and I thought, the big guys are talking about social media. Well, some of the big guys, not all the big guys, I'm finding out. Um, and I got to be on social media, and we got to spend time on TikTok and Instagram Reels and all these things. And so I got to take all the time to do that. And then I started running into people that were making multiple 7 figures, but that even wasn't the issue. They were impacting a lot more lives. And I was like, okay, so what are you guys doing? Because I don't see you all over TikTok and those places. And it kind of caught my eye, because they were saying things like, yeah, my wife and I have our own businesses, and we both make 7 figures, and we don't work more than 30 hours a month. And I started finding out that a lot of these people weren't on social media. They weren't out there doing the big TikTok and all that stuff and everything else. What were they doing? They were just creating incredible content. And they were doing it on YouTube. They were doing it on podcasts. They were doing it on blog posts. And I thought, this is how I really started out my business many years ago, back in the early 2000s, was doing videos, doing lives on YouTube and Facebook at that point in time, but writing blog posts, doing podcasts. And all of a sudden, this light came on and said, you know what? This is Luna. This is our new girl. Come here. Come here, Luna. This is Luna. She's the sweetheart 5-year-old. 100 pounds. And people look at her and go, oh my goodness, she's so big. Yeah. If you haven't seen Gabriel, she's really tiny compared to him. But if you think about it, when people go out and search, right? When people go out and search the internet for something, what comes up, right? They go out to Google, they search, number one search engine out there. What comes up? YouTube videos, podcasts, and blogs, right? What's the number two search engine in the world? YouTube. This just makes sense. I'm getting traffic to my website and to my products and things like that from years ago, from YouTube videos on a YouTube channel I don't even update anymore, right? From podcasts that I didn't even know were still out there, from blog posts that don't exist anymore, but they still seem to come up. I don't know what's going on with that, but so the reality is that if you've got something there that is sustainable and long-lasting and good content, you're going to have something running 24/7, 365 days a year for you. Whereas social media is this thing that's just going by fast. I mean, it's going by 90 miles an hour, right? I can't tell you how many times my wife and I have been talking and she said, honey, I got to show you this. Hold on a second. And then she'll get sidetracked doing something else, and then she'll come back. She'll go, oh, man, where is it? I just can't find it. It was here. It was here. Just a second. It was here. It was here, right? She can't go into Google and say, okay, yeah, I'll just do that same search and find it, because that's not where she found it. She was doing this when she found it in the first place, right? Whereas with YouTube and blogging and podcasts and things like that, if I can't find it, I just go in and search the same thing. Boom, there it comes up again. So now I found it, right? It just made sense to me. These people were working less and impacting more lives because they were doing the things that were longevity. They were doing the things that were sustainable. They were doing the things that stayed around for a long time. So they were always going out there and getting more people into their email list. Clue, right? That's a clue. They were getting things into their email list, which we all should be building, right? I remember back in 1970 when I got involved with network marketing for the first time in Amway, and my upline had said, it might have been 71, I forget which year, but you need to build a list, right? And I was just watching something on YouTube from a replay from someone that was at a convention for their company, and they were talking about building that list, right? And that's notorious for network marketers. They get told that all the time, build a list. And we all sit back and go, oh, no, I got to build a list of 100 people, But what they don't realize is how important that is. But here's the thing that I didn't know was writing that list down on paper back then was really hard to maintain. I had to come up with, I had my own planner, and I had to, manually connect. Okay, I talked to this person. Here's some notes for this person, and keep all this stuff together. It was very, very difficult, right? But nowadays, if you understand what you're doing, it's relatively simple because you just get their email list, get them on your email list. You now have them assigned to an email campaign, and you start dripping value on them. Not pitching them, but you start dripping value on them, giving them something that's going to better their life. Giving them something that's going to better their business. Giving them something that is going to take them to a new level in whatever they're doing, either in their personal life, in their business, whatever it is that you have to offer in your solution for your target audience, right? And now you're building this know, like, and trust. And again, it's on automation, right? It's happening all the time. And if you've got great videos and you've got great, content out there that you're always giving value, and you're directing this traffic that's coming in there to your blog posts or to your lead magnets or to your funnels and so forth, and you're collecting those emails and you're building this know, like, and trust, all of a sudden you've got this list of people that you now, technology-wise, can really interact with and really connect with a lot better. And it's something that you own. It's not social media. It's not TikTok that is cutting everybody off or may disappear in the United States and all these other things that people are, stressing out about. It's your list that you have control, that you own, And now you can take the time to really nurture that list and make it something. So let's say you've got 1,000 people on your list, not 10,000 people or 100,000 people in social media things and things, but you got 1,000 people on your list. You have $100 a month membership, and 900 of those people, right? 900 of those people decide to join your list, right? That's what, $90,000 a month. I think that's just about $1 million a year, right? Residual income coming in every month, every month. And of course, there's going to be, you're going to have that, what do they call that? Attrition and stuff that happens with this. But if you're always promoting, you're always putting stuff out there, you always got content out there, right? You don't even, if you're consistent in your content, it stays out there forever. So you're always getting new people in. You're always building that list. If your primary objective is to build that list and connect with that list, I will tell you the person that's got the biggest engaging list, not necessarily quantity-wise, but the biggest quality engaging list is going to win every time. If you take a look at the big players out there right now, they are concentrating all the time on getting people on their list, giving discounts, giving freebies away, anything they can. A side note is, yeah, follow us on social media, right? But they know that a majority of the sales, a majority of the business happens through emails. I just purchased actually a new microphone the other day, and I was looking at possibly getting a, what do they call it, Instapot, for one of the kids, one of the grandkids, and that. And I'm just constantly now getting emails from Amazon. Right? They're not sending me to Facebook or TikTok or any of those things. They're sending me emails saying, hey, we saw you looked at this. We wanted to see if this might interest you. Well, because I love Amazon and I use them all the time, they're trusted. I've got to know, like, and trust there. When they send me an email, I look at it. I take it into account. If it's something I want, boom, I buy it. That's why so many people buy through email compared to buying through social media. Because they can build that know, like, and trust. And you don't need hundreds of thousands of people to make really good money, but not even make the really good money, but impact a lot of lives, right? Now, going back to these people I'm seeing on YouTube now that are making good money and impacting lives and everything, the reason they only have to work a few hours a month is because they don't overwhelm their clients, their customers, their members, right? We see people that create these memberships, and it's like, yes, get involved with my membership. Boy, I'm gonna be putting up videos every single day. We're gonna meet 15 times a week on live videos, and people are going, oh man, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Well, they've discovered that if they put one new technical video or a marketing video or something related to a week, they do a video, they upload it up so people can go over it, and then once a month they do a huge mastermind, right? Maybe they do 4 or 5 hour mastermind, right, for everybody, but it's once a month. And everybody gets to ask their questions and get answers and go down, rabbit holes if they want, but they take all the time they need. Maybe it's a couple of hours, maybe it's 3 or 4 hours, maybe it's 5 or 6 hours, right? But they do it once a month. And think about that. That once a month is, let's say it's 10 hours. So they've worked 10 hours in that month so far. And then they spend, another 10 hours putting videos up every week that they create and so forth. And then so that's 20 hours. And then they spend another 10 hours maybe in the community, just kind of chatting with people, answering any relevant questions and keep the connection going in there. So that's 30 hours a month. And you're impacting a ton of lives. And a ton of people are getting results. A ton of people are getting benefit from it. It made so much more sense to me. It was ridiculous. So I hope that makes sense to you. Work less, impact lives. If you work smarter, you can work less and you can impact a lot more lives. But most of us think that we've got to be workaholics. I've been that most of my life that I've been around. I'll be 72 here in a few months, and I can tell you that 50 some years, I started working at a hardware store at 13. So whatever 72 minus 13 is. I was always workaholic. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to do the best job. So back in the 50s and 60s, that's what we were taught from our parents. Anything you do 100%, do your best, no matter what you think about it, whether you like it or you don't. You just always do your best. And that's what I did. When I was in the military, I always did my best. I tried to move up the ranks fast. When I was in corporate America, I always did my best. I always tried to, move up the ranks. When I built my own businesses, and anything that I do, I try to do my best at all of it is. And I just assumed that working harder and putting in more time and more hours was the way to go. And I found out that wasn't. You get burned out, things wear out. It's like running your car at full speed all the time. Eventually, it just runs out, right? But if you take your time, like the tortoise and the hare kind of a thing, and you do it right, you get to go more places, you get to do more things, you get to impact more lives. Okay, so I hope this has made some sense, and maybe some lights have come on in your life, and you can kind of start changing things. Take some time to get a better education, right? And I want to tell you about something before we go here. I've just launched a new course, and it's not even fully done yet. It'll be fully done most likely by the end of the month. But you can get in now, and it's called Online Business Bootcamp. And I'm going to take you through the basics and give you some advanced, and it's even going to have a module in it for network marketers, but I'm going to teach you how to get your business up and running and work smarter and less and have more success. Because I want you to know, get the education you need and understand why you're doing things. So many people just go through courses and they just step by step, they might go through it and okay, I did this, I did this, I did this. I'm not sure why I did it, but I did it and it looks like the same thing that they did. And now that I did it, right? That's not how business is. Some things are, right? You get in your car, you turn it on. Everybody does the same thing, essentially. Some people push a button, some people turn a key. But that's essentially the same. But when you're driving down the road, if you got an electric car, you drive it differently. If you got a gas car, you drive it differently. If you got a stick shift car, I don't even know, do they make those anymore? That's the first car I learned how to drive on. Business is different. In understanding how all the pieces go together, understanding how all the parts play together, will make your life 10 times easier and make your business run 10 times smoother, because you'll know how to tweak things. You'll know how to make things work better. You'll know exactly why you're doing what you're doing, not just like a robot doing it because someone told you, do this, right? So, $197. Piece of cake, less than $200, $197, one-time fee. We're going to have monthly masterminds, and you'll be able to ask questions and go through all of that. I'll try to put up videos during the month, probably no more than one a week. But here's the big key to it too. If you get some incredible value out of this, some value that you believe others can use, I'm going to allow you to become an affiliate, and you can get 50% commission on every time you sell it. So every time you sell a $200 product, you make $100, right? So you sell 2 of them and your money's back. You've got the course for free for life, and you can do anything you want, right? So all you have to do is go to rondeering.com. It's going to be here and at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be in the description below. rondeering.com/bootcamp. Okay. Register, check out the sales page, see if it's something that you might want to do, and jump on board. I promise you it'll never be over $297. I can't promise you that it won't go from $197 to $297. But right now, it's $197, right? And you're going to get a ton of value, and you're going to learn exactly how to do things and understand why you're doing them. Excuse me. One of the things I loved about the military when I got drafted was I went to basic training at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and there was no question about what you did next, right? Everything was step by step. You went to the reception center. You got your hair all chopped off. I had really long hair back then. Didn't have a beard. They cut all my hair off, made me trim my mustache down to virtually nothing. And they gave us our uniforms, talked to us about how the ranks worked and all of that stuff. Got us ready to move from reception center into the next few weeks, 10 weeks, I think it was back then, of training that took us from really not knowing a whole lot. I mean, I had a lot of people. My 2 older brothers had already gotten drafted. They went in the Air Force. My dad was in the Army. So I knew a little bit about the military and how it worked. But I really didn't have any idea of what what was in store for me. And I love the fact that they took it step by step. We didn't start learning how to shoot our weapon on day one. We went through a lot of other things before we got to that. We went to everything came in order and in sequence. All the physical training. We didn't run 10 miles the first day we got there. We got to that. We got to hiking 10 miles and marching 10 miles on full packs up and down hills and all kinds of things called misery and agony and so forth there and at Fort Knox. But the bottom line, we didn't start day one like that. We built up to it, and I think that's what too many people they get these courses that they're out there, and some of them I know the people that put together, and they're incredible courses. They're phenomenal courses. The problem isn't the course. The problem is people, I don't want to learn all this. Just show me how to make this and start making money, right? And they're out there trying to promote something that they have no idea what they're doing. They're just promoting it because someone taught them how to create a funnel and promote something, and they don't know what they're doing. Network marketing is so much like that. And for those of you who are network marketing, I'm going to make this module so straightforward and simple so that you'll understand how to build your business that's sustainable, that's residual, that's always growing, it's always helping people. You're always impacting lives, and you're always making some money, right? So, again, rondeering.com/bootcamp 197 one time, and you can make 50% commission just sharing it with other people. So, God bless you. I can't wait to see you on the next one.